Your business deploys AI pilots everywhere. But are they going anywhere? Or are they stuck in silos, exhausting resources, unable to scale? Maybe you don't need hundreds of AI pilots, you need a holistic strategy. IBM has 65,000 consultants with Gen AI expertise who can help you design, integrate, and optimize AI solutions. So you're not just deploying AI, you're scaling it across your business. Learn more at ibm.com/consulting. IBM. Let's create.
ABC Wednesdays.
I'm Joan, and I'm your first Golden Bachelorette.
Joan's getting a second chance.
This is about everybody like me, navigating, trying to find love at this age.
I wouldn't be here if I didn't have hope.
Because love never ages.
Golden age doesn't mean you're old. Old is a state of mind, like a lot of living to do.
The Golden Bachelorette. Wednesdays on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Want to make a podcast? Spotify's got a platform that lets you make one super easily, distribute it everywhere, and even earn money, all in one place for free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters, and here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit your podcasts right from your phone or your computer. So no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and everywhere else podcasts are heard. Video podcasts are also available on Spotify, and when you want to take conversations with your fans to the next level, Q&As and polls are the best way to get them talking. With Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. Ever since I discovered Spotify for Podcasters, I feel so supported in the creation and distribution of my show. Spotify for Podcasters hosts masterclasses, office hours, and more to help creators develop and fine-tune their skills. I highly recommend you give it a try. Download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to spotify.com/podcasters to get started. Hey guys, what's up? We're back to the show. Thank you so much for clicking on today's episode. If this is the first time that you are ever listening to 80/20, hey, what's up? My name is Lily. I'm a holistic health coach. I work a 9 to 5. I live in Annapolis. I'm trying to think of any other fun facts that you might need to know about me. Oh, I just moved recently and I just started this new job, so that's kind of been like the theme of my content recently is like moving, getting adjusted, learning how to live life as a 20-something in a new city. So that's kind of me in a nutshell, or at least my past like 2 months of life in a nutshell, and I've kind of shaped the content here on the show recently. So if you haven't listened to any of my previous episodes in season 4, this is the 4th episode of season 4. So if you haven't listened to any of the previous ones, definitely go do so. They are pretty entertaining, at least I think so, and informative. So I'll link the rest of season 4 in the show notes for you guys if you want to catch up on that. I've also been posting a lot on Instagram stories and kind of just sharing little moments of my day. I haven't been following like a content calendar like I used to. I haven't really been posting reels as heavily as I used to. I'm kind of just winging it when it comes to content recently and posting when I have a burst of inspiration rather than just posting to post. So that's kind of been like my content philosophy recently. And same kind of goes with the podcast too. Like if I'm not really feeling super pumped or energized, I don't really work on podcast related stuff, but I'm feeling pretty jazzed today, so you guys can expect a good episode. Maybe it's the Celsius that I drank earlier, maybe it's the fact that I just had dinner and went for a nice walk, or maybe it's the fact that I'm just pumped about today's topic, or all of the above, but I think that you guys are really gonna get a kick out of today's topic. But before we get into all of that stuff, a couple life updates, little weekly recap. I don't know what to call a segment. We talked about this last time. I'm trying to bring back the segments. I just feel corny when I do them. I don't know why. I shouldn't, because it's my show and I get to do whatever I want. I need like cute names for the segments, you know, rather than just saying like current favorite. I need something like more spicy than that. I don't know if like spicy is the right word, but just something more exciting than current favorite and quote of the week. So if you guys have any good ideas, send me a DM, because I'm always in my DMs. I see everything, even if I don't respond to it. I try really hard to respond to everybody. I try really hard to be mindful of my Instagram usage. Now that I'm working in marketing and communications, I do spend a lot more time on socials, but not necessarily for myself. And so I'm just super mindful with what I do when I open up Instagram. I'm pretty good about not logging on first thing in the morning, but at night I do find myself just scrolling in bed endlessly, and that's so not good for me. I mean, it's not good for anybody, but I just always try to be super mindful of how I'm spending my time, and mindlessly scrolling is not one of those things. And also checking my DMs is something that I obviously love to do, and I love talking to you guys, but I don't always have like the capacity to sit there and respond back to every single person. So just know that I see you and I appreciate your messages so much. And if I don't get back to you, I will try my hardest to get back to everybody. But like I said, I just try to use my energy and my inspiration when I have it. Regardless, if you guys want to connect with me on Instagram, it is always linked in the show notes. And I appreciate all your feedback and all your love. And also, guys, I'm so close to 10K. This is so stupid and like so materialistic, but it would be like a dream come true. Like 17-year-old Lily, like when I first started my YouTube channel, she would be so excited to know that I'm about to hit 10K. And also, my 22nd birthday is in 3 weeks. So if I could hit 10K on or before my birthday, that would be like the best birthday present ever. So if you guys aren't following me, you totally should. I think I'm only like 100 followers away from 10K, and we could totally do that in 3 weeks. I believe in us. So if you're not following me on Instagram, please do. I would really appreciate it. And I post fun stuff, and I'm trying to get funner. This past weekend was super fun. The day that you guys are listening to this is actually Lexi's real birthday, but we actually celebrated this past weekend with my older sister Marley and our good friend Allie. They came to our condo in Annapolis, and the four of us had such a blast. We had a really fun girls' night on Friday, and then on Saturday, we were kind of just gonna do like a movie night and stuff, but then we decided to hit the town and have another girls' night. So that was really fun. It was just one of those times where you forgot to check your phone, and some of the best moments aren't the ones that get documented. On Friday, before we left to go out to dinner, we took a bunch of pictures in front of these happy birthday balloons that, funny enough, Lexi put up for herself. I literally gave her my credit card while I was at work, and I said, here, go buy some cute decorations. I unfortunately don't have time to go buy you decorations, so you're off today, go buy yourself decorations. Just buy them, I'll decorate. And I came home from work at 5 o'clock on Friday, and she had decorated the whole house, streamers, balloons. You would think that she was decorating for my birthday, because I came in and I was like, oh my gosh, it looks so good in here. It was the funniest thing. And I don't want anybody coming for me saying like, you should have planned better, you're not, a good sister, whatever. But her real birthday is on Thursday, and today's Tuesday while I'm recording this, but her real birthday is on Thursday, and I have a really fun gift planned for her, and we're going to do a workout first thing in the morning before I have to go to work. We're going to go get coffee and acai bowls in the morning, and then that evening we have some really fun plans as well. We have a friend flying in, and then we're going to go home for the weekend, so it's going to be this whole bit. But she decorated for her own pre-birthday party, which is funny. That was a total tangent. But on Friday, we took a bunch of pictures in front of her birthday balloons. We did Polaroids, and we had like funny props and stuff. And Lexi posted those pictures on Instagram. And the next day my dad called, and he was like, looks like you girls had tons of fun from the pictures that you posted. And these were like the ones that were specifically posed. And we were like, oh yeah, like we had tons of fun, but the pictures weren't the funnest part. That was like the fun just getting started. Yeah, it was fun, but it took, probably longer than it should have. And we were waiting for the Uber, and it was just such a funny moment, because we realized that the real fun happened when the cameras were off. Just another great example of social media and how the highlights are never truly the highlights. They're just like a little moment captured in time. So I just always like to take social media with a grain of salt. But anyway, the weekend was super fun. We had a blast. And then Sunday rolled around, and I had the most Sunday-ish Sunday ever. It felt great. I did tons of cleaning. I went grocery shopping. I sat down with my planner for the week. I meal prepped. I made these protein oat balls. You guys have to try this recipe, okay? It's 1 cup of oats, half a cup of nut butter, a little bit of maple syrup, a tablespoon of chia seeds, a tablespoon of flax seeds, a tablespoon of hemp seeds, 2 scoops of chocolate protein powder, and then a little bit of water in there just to kind of stir everything up and make it a little sticky. Roll them into balls and then store them in the fridge. Perfect snack for my working gals. These are great. I don't know if I talked about these in my 9 to 5 episode, but protein balls are my go-to thing, and I made that recipe this weekend, but a different one last week. These ones are way better in my opinion, but I'll leave the recipe in the description. I kind of just made shit up and it worked well for me, so I don't have like exact measurements as far as like the water and stuff go, but if I were you, I would just add a couple drops of water until it kind of reaches a like sticky consistency and the protein powder is dissolved. There have been a couple of quotes that caught my eye this past week. There are 2 of them that I want to share for quote of the week. They're kind of intertwined, or they, I guess, can be intertwined. The first one says, "Nothing changes if nothing changes." This one hit me hard one night. I was scrolling, I saw it on TikTok. Once again, should not be scrolling mindlessly on TikTok at night. You guys know I'm in a season of change, and I have seen nothing but change since I moved. And it made me think about, prior to moving, how I was so stagnant in my behavior, in my energy, in the words that I would say. And it just made me realize how important it is to make change. I'm not saying that you necessarily have to pack up a bunch of boxes and move to a different city or switch your job or make like some huge, big, life-altering change. But if you feel stagnant, you can't sit around wishing for things to be different if you're not willing to act differently, if you're not willing to think differently. The second quote that kind of goes hand in hand with this is, "I want to see what happens if I don't give up." So now that all this change has happened in my life, I've been that much more motivated to continue making change, positive change. And I have a lot of new goals that weren't really on my radar up until I started to make changes. And it's funny how life happens too, right? You might have certain dreams or aspirations. I think that it's totally normal to realize that a dream might not be for you. When I was growing up, I actually used to play guitar and sing. And I used to want to be the next Taylor Swift. I don't play guitar anymore. I don't sing anymore. I can carry a tune. I don't really think I'm that good, but back in high school, I was, I guess, like mediocre. I mean, I wasn't like the star of the show or anything, but like I wasn't horrible. You know, over time, you start to realize maybe I don't really want to be the next Taylor Swift. I don't really think that that's for me. So I put that dream to rest. When I was 17, I started my YouTube channel. The goal was to get millions and millions of subscribers, be the next, I don't even know who was popular back then, like Emma Chamberlain, she blew up really quick, or like Hannah Maloche, like all those. Do you guys remember like the Dope Girls? They were like, that was the dream, right? To be the next big influencer. Quickly realized that dream really wasn't my cup of tea either. I don't really want millions of followers. Put that dream to rest. So it's totally okay to let go of things that no longer are your dream. It's completely normal. As young people, I think 98% of this podcast is 20-something women. Like, I look at the demographics, I can see who listens. 98% of you are around my age. So I just want to remind each and every one of you that it's totally normal to just figure it out right now. But if it's a dream that you really, really want, it doesn't have to be as big as like wanting to get 1 million subscribers or something like that. But if I never started to go after that dream, I wouldn't have ended up exactly where I am today. So every little thing that you do leads you to where you're supposed to be. I firmly believe that. If there's something that you want to do, if you have a goal, big or small, see what happens if you don't give up. So because I've been making all these changes, I've been realizing, or at least starting to realize, what I want in life, what I don't want in life. And I started to go after some of these goals that 6 months ago I wouldn't have really cared about. I'll be interested to see what happens if I don't give up. I don't plan on giving up. One of those goals being 70 and 80, which is a challenge that I wrote out for myself. Lexi and I talked about this in our episode 2 weeks ago. So if you guys want to listen to that episode, you totally should. It's hilarious. It's like listening to a comedy show. My mom called me today and she's like, I finally listened to your episode with Lexi. You guys are hilarious. She was cracking up the whole time. We're goofy, we're funny, at least we think we are. So if you guys need to laugh, go listen to that one. So in that episode, we talk more about this. But 70 and 80 is a fitness challenge that I whipped up because I needed something to focus on a couple weeks ago. The premise is that Lexi and I plan to complete 70 workouts in 80 days. So I think today was workout 19 or 20. But we have a sticker chart and everything. We're taking it pretty seriously. There's a little bit of friendly competition. And we're holding each other accountable, which is really cool. So if you guys are looking for a way to motivate yourself, get excited about something, create a challenge. There's another quote that I like that says, growth happens outside the comfort zone. So if you're pushing yourself, challenging yourself, you're going to grow because you're no longer in your comfort zone. So completing 70 workouts in 80 days means like about 10 rest days, depending on how you stack your workouts. But I've really been enjoying having this accountability and it's given me something to focus on. So I'm really enjoying this challenge and I'm only talking about it again because it's something that you can do too. I hear you guys, I see you guys always asking, how do I get motivated? How do I stay committed to a workout routine? How do I get excited to go to the gym? How do I find a workout that I like? And my response is always, you got to commit to it. And so committing to something like 70 and 80, committing to that sticker chart, committing to 45 minutes every single day, and then taking it one day, one workout at a time is a great way to check those boxes and get that shit done and stay motivated. It'll be good for the plot. This is a phrase that a friend of mine found on TikTok and she brought it up to Lex and I the other weekend. And we decided to just really take this philosophy and run with it. Not even run, sprint. We've been sprinting with this idea. It'll be good for the plot. I don't know who exactly coined this phrase, so if you guys know or like want to give credit where credit's due, let me know. I didn't come up with this phrase. I'm not taking credit for it. I don't know if I'll explain it the way that it was intended, but I will explain it the way that I know and the way that I am living my life. I've always been the type of person to say no to things. I'm incredibly introverted. I'm very much a homebody and I'm comfortable in my comfort zone. But like we just talked about, growth happens outside the comfort zone. It always has. It always will. So moving to a new city, not really knowing too many people here, I knew that I would have to step out of my comfort zone. So doing things like 70 and 80 or taking on the philosophy of it'll be good for the plot has been really, really helpful. Maybe even a little bit of like a mindset shift. I've just felt myself becoming a lot more independent and a lot more extroverted. So that's kind of cool. So I guess that's kind of just proof that the way that you talk to yourself can shape your actions and what you do and how you do it. But anyway, I love thinking of my life as a book. I always have. I think that I've mentioned on the show before, starting a new chapter or writing an entirely different book, all those kind of inspirational phrases. I'm kind of, I guess, Pinteresty in that way. Like Lexi gets mad at me. She's like, oh, here come the Pinterest quotes. But I've always thought that thinking of your life as a book has been helpful. So when my friend told me about it'll be good for the plot, I ate that shit up. So we all know that the plot has the rising action, the climax, the falling action, and the resolution. Obviously, your life is going to have all kinds of highs and lows, so I don't think that it follows that, kind of perfect pyramid of rising action, climax, falling, resolution. But I do think that becoming aware of what choices would be good for the plot, whether it'll be a good outcome or a bad outcome, or a fun outcome or a not so fun outcome, or maybe the outcome is a new friend or a new job or a move to a new city. It's all good for the plot because it helps build your story. So this philosophy, it'll be good for the plot, has helped me to start saying yes. For example, this is going to sound groundbreaking, you guys, I know. I hadn't gone out on a weeknight in a long time, probably college. which I guess, okay, we'll say real college, which was like 2.5 years ago for me. The other night, Lexi and I went out on, a Sunday. Groundbreaking, I know. And we had a fun night. And it was like 10:30. Decided to go out. It was good for the plot. We had fun. And I guess old me will say, who didn't adopt this philosophy, she would have been like, no, you are going to bed. You have work in the morning. You got to be up at this time and you got to do this and you got to do that. And I still was able to do this and that in the morning. It was fine. Didn't have a beverage or anything. We just went out and just socialized. People on TikTok kind of take this to the extreme. They're like, let's reach out to an ex. It'll be good for the plot. Or like, let's do this dangerous activity because it'll be good for the plot. And you guys know I'm not like super wild and whatnot, but I do like to have a good time. So when you're thinking about things that might be good for the plot or might not be good for the plot, it's hard to really pinpoint good examples because these are spontaneous moments, funny life moments, maybe even moments that you're like, oh shit, I did this and this is the result, but it's going to be good for the plot because everything always happens for a reason. It's a teaching moment, it's a lesson, it's a memory that you wouldn't have had if you didn't say yes. And it's really good for the plot when you know that you're the author of your own journey and you get to change the story whenever you want. You have a pen in your hand and paper at your disposal, and you get to switch up the narrative. You could write in new characters. You could change the setting if you wanted to, and you can take action because it's good for the plot of this beautiful journey that you are on. I have a little, passage, quote, I don't know, just something that I wrote down when I was thinking about what to say for it'll be good for the plot. So I figured that I will end with this. Be spontaneous, do things that you wouldn't normally do, because most of the time, the best parts of life, the best moments, the best memories are the ones that you least expect. If you just do what you normally do, you'll never have new experiences. Do it for the frickin' plot. So that is the episode today, guys. I really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to subscribe to the show. I post new episodes every single Thursday. Don't be shy. Go ahead and leave a 5-star rate and review. That just helps the algorithms on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all those places to push the show out to new listeners so then we can grow the show and the show can just get that much bigger and better. We can share the 80/20 love and I would really, really appreciate it. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram. We are so close to 10K. And I know that I kind of joked about not, I don't need 1 million followers. I really don't. It's not about the followers. I've just been on socials for a long time, and I think that would be really cool to hit 10K on or before my birthday. It'd be super, super fun. So if you guys aren't following me, that will be linked in the show notes, or you can just open up Instagram and type in Lily Rakow. That's LILYRAKOW, and I will pop up. You can hit follow, send me a message, introduce yourself. Let's get to know each other. I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day, and I will chat with you soon.